All right, we're over here at SWR&C, Southwest Rod and Custom. My name's Pete. If you haven't watched any of my videos, I have several channels on YouTube, and this one here that we're at right now is called D.I.Y. Auto School. That's Do-It-Yourself Auto School, where I show you a lot of stuff, not just painting or rust repair or Bondo, but we go in depth on, just tons and tons of stuff. And what we're talking about today is basically related to painting, but it's a situation that says safety. Now, safety is a very important thing when it comes to painting. And one of the situations you have is when you're painting with certain paints, the paint can be dangerous to your health, not just by using a respirator, but also the pores of your skin. And when I say that, the paint that we are going to use today is one of those paints.
Welcome to D.I.Y. Automotive School with my friend Pete and Minnie, the body shop girl. It's everything you need to know about cars and more.
So if we look right here, you can see that this is a commercial performance coating. This is an industrial, heavy-duty type of paint that we are going to use on painting this is a frame rack. This is actually, we're going to go in there and I'm going to show you what we're going to paint. It's a bobtail truck, but it's the headache rack and all the frame structure for the flatbed on this bobtail. And when you're using this style of paint, and I want you to read that right there, it's called alkyd enamel. This is a very, very dangerous paint to paint like I'm standing right here. Now, the problems that you have with this type of paint is isocyanides and chemicals that are counter-reacted and mixed together once the hardener is, or should I say activator, is added into the paint itself. And it becomes a bomb. It becomes a bomb in your body with little chemical molecules that are ready to explode and basically start to kill you. We all know that wearing a respirator is very important, and with today's technology of paint and body shop supplies, it's really not a necessity to the length of wearing a paint suit continuously on everything you do. Now, you do see a lot of guys that wear paint suits all the time, and that's because that's what they do every day, day in and day out. They paint. But a guy like me that might turn my paint booth on possibly once every 3 weeks or once a month or once every 2 months, it's not really that necessary for me to wear a paint suit in the paint booth. Yet, on the other hand, if I want to be completely 100% dust-free with no what can we say, trash in the air or static electricity or possibly a hair falling off or dust in my arms or on my shirt, yes, we would go ahead and wear a paint suit to protect our physical appearance, you might call it, just like this, all right, from ruining the paint job. Not to really actually protect our body and our brain and our internal organs from dangerous paint. But when it comes to stuff like this right here, and when you paint a very big large surface and you got to do it 3 times, not once, not twice, but 3, and I'm talking 3 full wet coats, it's very important to follow all health and safety instructions and do it the right way, not to protect this piece of thick angle iron and headache racks and all this other stuff, not to protect that from the body dust and hair from falling into the paint, but to protect you from possibly dying at an early age. So what we got here is your basic throwaway paint suit. Now this paint suit, and the reason I'm showing you this particular one is because to buy this paint suit right here costs you under $10. You can buy these at your local corporation hardware / home improvement store with no problems whatsoever. And you can buy them in, what can we say, stages of paint suits. You can actually buy the paint suit only, and I want everybody to look at this picture here because I'm going to go ahead and put this paint suit on. You can buy the whole paint suit in one big slew minus the spray mask. You don't get that with it. Or you can buy it just the paint suit itself with no hood, or you can buy it with just the paint suit and the hood with no footies. And the reason that we are going with this paint suit right here that's protecting our whole body once again is to protect us from the dangers of that paint, not to protect the item that we are painting from our, get it, right, that. You see what I'm saying? Before we open that up and we get all set up in it, let's go over there and look at what we're painting. I've already got the paint mixed. All I gotta do is put it into my spray gun and we're gonna start painting, but I wanna show you what we're painting, and I'm gonna show you how extreme that this can be using this type of paint when doing this type of job. So if we look right here, we can see we got our bobtail in our shop ready to paint. And you can see where I had everything sandblasted. I had all the rails that surround the flatbed sandblasted. You can see that right there. I had the DOT bumper sandblasted. And then I had the headache rack sandblasted on the front and the back. So as we take a look at this flatbed, you can see basically what we're painting is the side rails inside and out. We're going to get all this down in here. We're going to go up in here and get all the stake pockets. And then we're going to come around here. We'll go ahead, like I said, we're going to get that DOT bumper area. All that's going to be done. And then we'll come over here and we're going to repeat our process here. We'll go ahead and paint these racks. They were supposed to sandblast those, but they didn't do it. These are our strap, our roll-ups for our straps. We'll go ahead and shoot a coat of paint on that. And then we're going to paint the headache rack inside and out, front and back. So we got a big paint job ahead of us, but I want to show you that we have this sandblasted. That's the second or third time I told you. And the paint that I'm using does not require you to go ahead and prime this first. It's not that important. And one of the reasons is because of how thick this steel is. All right, this is very, very thick plate steel that this is made out of, or should I say C-channel. And then, of course, we got very, very thick plate steel C-channel situation going on right here. When they build these things, they don't prime them. They don't put primer on them, and all they do is spray them with some cheap, inexpensive black paint, and then they basically give them to you and say, here you go. So when you see this, or possibly a car hauler trailer, or any trailer that's made out of metal, there is no primer underneath that. So the advantage to using the alkyd enamel commercial industrial paint is that you're basically eliminating one of the processes of doing a paint job. But what you're doing is paying for it in buying a paint suit and protecting your body from the harsh chemicals that can actually kill you. Now, using a paint mask is very important, but this type of paint that we're using will actually penetrate into the pores of your skin. Okay? And even if you got a t-shirt on, or you got pants, or you got a full sleeve shirt, the fumes and the chemicals that are in the air will penetrate through your clothing and into your skin. It's very important to remember that. A paint suit is made out of a special material that is breathable, but yet on the other hand, will not let the chemicals into the paint suit and protect you 100%. So what we're going to do here is we're going to get our paint suit out now. We went ahead and got the deluxe supersonic model, and I see that on this particular paint suit, the footies are built into the paint suit itself. They are not separate. And then, of course, if we open it up all the way, we can see that it also has a built-in hoodie. This is very important. You can see that it's got an elastic strap that goes around it, and it will cover around your face. Very, very important. So we're gonna go ahead and unzip that. One more thing, this is another thing you wanna look for. Look at where the zipper is on this, and it has a flap that folds over to cover that zipper. Do you know what that's for? The reason they have a cover on that is because the chemicals and the paint can get through that zipper, believe it or not, okay? It can get through that zipper and then penetrate into the paint suit. So having this flapper on there is an elimination and process of letting those chemicals get into that paint suit. I want you to look at that paint suit very closely. There is no air gaps or nothing in it. And then when you open it up like this, you can notice what's the inside is, because the inside has a very shiny and soft feel to it. Do these breathe? No, they don't. And on very hot days, it's very, very uncomfortable to wear these. It is actually 7 o'clock at night, and I am painting this at night due to the fact that it is very hot down here in Texas. And if I would have done this in the middle of the day, I would be sweating like a pig. This is like a sweatsuit. And a lot of people don't like to wear these, but when it comes to this stuff, you have to wear them. So we're gonna go ahead and put our feet in them, and you can see that I still have my shoes on. And it's actually a good idea, to be honest with you. It's actually a very good idea to wear shorts when you do this, because once again, this is like a sweatsuit, and you will sweat inside it. So we're gonna get our feet inside there. We'll back up so you can see that. And you should be able to slide your feet with your shoes right on them. You can see what happens here when I do that. You should be able to slide it in there. And you want to be very careful putting this on. If it feels like it's catching or hooking onto your foot, loosen them up. So you can see at the bottom of my feet, you can see I do now have the paint suit on 100%. We will then take our arm, and we're going to slide our arm in just like this. And one more thing, you have an elastic, hand elastic for your wrist that's going to keep everything out. And then we're going to go ahead and slide our other hand through that way. And now we have easily and uniformly installed our paint booth on our body. We'll take our zipper very carefully, zipping it up all the way to the neck as far as it'll go. And I believe there's even an elastic piece right here around the neck. I feel something there. Yes, there is an elastic band around my neck to keep my neck covered. Go figure that. So I do have my paint suit installed, and one thing that I'm missing, and another thing that's very important, is a pair of rubber gloves. I don't have any rubber gloves. Let me go in there and see if Minnie has a pair that I can use, and if not, I got to figure out where I'm going to do about not having any rubber gloves. All right, thank you, Minnie, the body shop girl. She just happened to have a pair of rubber gloves in the office hidden in her desk. You want to be able to use some very, very good rubber gloves. You don't want the rubber gloves to tear or rip. I'm hoping that these rubber gloves will last through the whole paint job, because I don't have any more rubber gloves, and if they break on me, I'm pretty much screwed. So we don't want that to happen. Once you install your rubber glove on your hand, you want to go ahead and put your sleeve over your glove just like that. Or you can actually tuck your sleeve into the glove, one or the other. So let's go ahead, and I want to show you the difference. All right, so we're going to put our glove on like this, and then we can actually bring our sleeve up and then take your glove and wrap it around like that. So you got two angles there. You can put it on top or you can put it on the bottom, whichever you want. The next thing we want to do is we want to go ahead and remove our hat. We definitely don't need to wear our hat underneath our hood. And then once we do that, we can take our hood and cover our face with it, just like that. Okay, my hair is not, okay, there we go. And believe me, this can be very irritating to use. We will get it though, don't worry. There we go. Okay. Hold on, one more hair, motherfucker. Okay, and that's the price you pay when you have long hair. So, the next thing that we need to do is we need to put on our paint mask. Once the paint mask is on, we're ready to go in and start painting our frame with the alkyd enamel paint. Very important. So here's our paint mask that we'll be using. This is a 3M dual cartridge paint mask. I'm going to go ahead and take that down just for a minute. We'll be using this spray mask. I'm already starting to sweat. And I mean, I've only had it on for about 2 or 3 minutes. But this is the paint mask that we'll be using. It's a dual cartridge spray mask. One more thing, when you're using this type of a paint or any paint that has deadly chemicals, you want to do it in a open area, or at least have a good exhaust fan like we have over here at SWRNC. Let's get over there, throw some paint on this thing, and then we're going to see how it protects us from the chemicals and the dangers that can persist to kill us at an early age that we don't want to die. Is why I'm wearing this and looking like some psycho doctor in a psycho home and ready to run rampage over everybody that's getting in my way, if that makes any sense. Okay, we are now ready to go ahead and start painting our truck using our paint suit as a protectant from dangerous chemicals that will kill us. Let's go ahead and throw a coat of paint on this. We're going to put 3 full wet coats on it, and hopefully our paint suit will last that long. We're going to wait 20 minutes in between each coat, and it looks like it's going to be a big job. Believe me, it looks like it's a small job. All we got is a little, but I'm telling you, believe me, this is a big paint job. Big paint job. If you just noticed, before I paint, I just turned my exhaust fan on in the background. Make sure that you're doing this in a well-ventilated area. We got the door open over there. We got the exhaust fan over here. We're getting nice airflow. I can feel it. It feels like a nice light fan blowing on me. Hopefully, it might help me cool down, but I doubt it. Let's get to painting. We're talking too much. Okay. All right. We are now done painting our frame with very dangerous, high content, high solid isocyanide, skin, pore, suction, fucking alkyd enamel paint. So let's go ahead and take our paint suit off, and we're going to throw this thing in the trash. One thing that I will explain to you, and this is just my theory, I don't think it's a conspiracy theory, but when you're wearing these suits, like I said earlier, it's like wearing a sweatsuit. You really create a lot of sweat wearing these, and I believe that they are designed to do that, to force the sweat out. So that's to help to keep chemicals so they don't go in, if that makes any sense. That's just a theory of mine, and I'm pretty good when I come to conclusions and theories, and I'll bet you $100 that's one reason they make these suits, and they're designed that way, is so your body will sweat, forcing out so nothing will go in, if that makes any sense to you. I think it does, and I believe that it's probably true. Let's go ahead and get this monkey suit off, and we're throwing this thing in the trash because for $10 we really don't need to keep it, and we're going to go in there and look at that frame when I get all this off. So Our paint suit did do the job that we wanted it to do. It kept all the contaminated fumes and also chemicals out of our body. Another reason you don't want to keep these is because sometimes they're hard to save. So you can't tell, but I am actually sweating like a filthy pig, and my skin is saturated, soaking wet with sweat, and my shorts are almost dripping wet, and my shirt is definitely dripping wet. My feet are okay because I had my shoes on, but getting our shoes out of these might be a bit of a problem, but I think we'll make it one way or the other to get out of this thing safely, hopefully. So let me get my foot up here. It's hard to move around because all my clothes are soaking wet, but we're gonna do it. See, we're gonna do it because yes, that's the name of the game, is do it. Do it and do it right. So there's the paint suit. Like I said, I am soaking saturated wet, and we are now ready to clean our gun out and make sure that's thoroughly clean, because when you use this type of paint, you want to make sure that you get all the chemicals out of your gun as well. All right, it looks like it came out good. It's got a nice high gloss to it. It went on and laid down nice and smooth. That will take approximately 12 to 14 hours to thoroughly dry 100%, where we can actually do something with it. But it came out good. This is industrial paint. This is not something that you would paint your car with or your pickup truck or anything else. All it's used for is this type of painting only for frames. If you're restoring your old car and you want to paint your frame, this is the type of paint you want to use. It's good for painting suspension work or anything that is a bare metal substance that you want to skip a few steps with and go straight into paint. So there you go. That's what you use paint suits for. That's what paint suits are designed for, to protect you, not the item that you are painting. I don't use a suit all the time, only when I'm using dangerous chemicals such as the alkyd enamel and the hardener. And I'll go ahead and let you know that I used I used 5.5 mixable quarts of paint to paint what you just saw. So we'll see you later. Take it easy. My friend Pete, your friend Pete, showing you and giving you safety tips that are dirt cheap, inexpensive, that can save your life and add many, many years of enjoyment onto whatever the hell you do to have fun and enjoy your life and make things better. We'll see you later.
Watching D.I.Y. Automotive School. Classes don't stop till you know everything.